Do you want to speak English confidently? Have you ever doubted yourself before expressing yourself in English? If so, you might be saying things that are actually hurting your confidence instead of helping it. In today's video, I'm going to tell you 3 things that you need to stop saying if you want to speak English confidently. Once you stop saying them, you start to feel more comfortable and confident over time. So if you're ready to build your confidence and improve the way you communicate, keep on watching. The first thing you need to stop saying is, "Sorry, my English isn't good," or "Sorry for my bad English." This is something I hear all the time, and I totally get it why people say it. When I first started working with Italians, this was one of the first things they would say before even starting the conversation. I get it. I used to say the same thing also when I was learning my Italian at the beginning. It felt like a way to protect myself, like I was telling people indirectly to be more patient with me. At first, when you don't know much English, it may seem okay to say it, but once you understand and can speak a little bit more, it's time to stop. If you're saying this because you're worried about your accent, forgetting words, or not speaking as fluently as you want, you're actually hurting your confidence. Here's the truth. Most people won't even notice your accent or any mistakes, especially in international settings. We're all used to talking with people from different parts of the world. When you say "sorry for my bad English," you're bringing all the attention to your language skills. People might not have even noticed anything wrong with your language, but now when you say it, they're focused on your English. Also, when you apologize for your language, it can make people take you less seriously. Even if your English isn't perfect, saying sorry for it can make you seem unsure of yourself. As you know, confidence is very important when speaking any language, especially when you're talking with people from all over the world. Let's go to the second thing that you need to stop saying to sound more confident. I want to sound like a native speaker. But first, let's clear something up. It's important to have a correct pronunciation and speak clearly so that people can understand you easily. But wanting to sound like a native speaker, that shouldn't be your main goal when you're communicating internationally. Think about it. Why do you want to sound like a native speaker? Is it because you want to fit in more? Or maybe you're afraid people will judge you or laugh at your accent? If that's the case, the real problem isn't about sounding like a native speaker. It's about feeling insecure or lacking confidence in how others see you. The truth is, your accent is part of who you are. As long as your pronunciation is correct and clear that people can understand, your accent isn't a problem. In fact, it can actually be a great thing depending on how you look at it. For example, I always tell my Italian students, your Italian accent is part of you. Many native speakers actually love it and find it attractive. So don't stress about getting rid of it. Instead, use your time wisely on developing more important skills. Your accent can make you stand out and be memorable. If you focus too much on trying to sound like a native speaker, you might get frustrated thinking you'll never be good enough. And instead of being present in the conversation, you might get lost in your thoughts and feel more stressed. When you're in real-life situations, especially international settings, what matters most is making a positive impact and connecting with others. This is exactly what native speakers are also working on. They focus on skills such as storytelling, effective communication, because they want to stand out and be remembered. Having an accent can actually make you more interesting and memorable from the start. You can have that advantage as a non-native speaker, so don't try to hide it. And I say this from experience. I used to feel bad when people would ask me, "Where are you from?" because I thought it meant I don't sound like a native speaker. But now I actually want people to ask me that question because my story can be a point of connection. I don't pronounce everything like a native speaker, even if I know how to do it. For example, with some words like automatically, I know that Americans say it differently, like automatically, but I don't try to push it to sound like a native speaker because my goal is to be clear and connect with other people. And I don't want to sound or pretend to be a native speaker. And sharing our stories help us connect with others and give us something interesting to talk about. So instead of trying to sound like a native speaker, focus on speaking clearly and confidently. That's what really matters. And the final thing you need to stop saying is, I don't have time to practice English. This is another common excuse that I hear, and I totally get it. Life is busy. Between work, family, and other things going on, it can be very difficult to find the time to practice English. But here's the thing. If you keep telling yourself you don't have the time, you'll stop even trying to find the time to practice. And without practice, your English and confidence won't improve. Think about it. When something is really important to you, you'll find the time for it, right? For example, if you have an important work meeting, you'll put it on your calendar. If a friend wants to hang out, you'll figure out when to meet. So why not do the same for your English practice? The key is to make it a priority. If you don't do that, you won't see any progress. Even the busiest people can find small moments in their day to practice, even if it's just for 1 hour per week. So you just need to schedule it. When you join a class or even set aside time to study on your own, that time becomes part of your routine. You just plan around it like any other important task. You can also use little moments throughout your day. It's what I call the dead time. For example, the dead time is when you're commuting to work or stuck in traffic, even doing things like washing the dishes or cooking. You can listen to English podcasts or audiobooks during those times to practice more. So instead of saying, I don't have time, ask yourself, how can I make the time? Because if you really want to improve, you'll find a way. Alright, that's it for today's video. Those were the 3 things you need to stop saying if you want to speak English with confidence. If you're interested in learning more about a holistic approach to language learning, especially in the age of AI, check the link in the description for more resources. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these phrases have you said to yourself the most? Is there anything else that you keep telling yourself that holds you back? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.